What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another video and a happy new year to you and yours, because it's officially 2018. And what better way to start off 2018 than by looking at the stuff I watched in 2017. Alright, so being a year-end wrap-up list, I got all dressed up. I put on a collared shirt. I actually put on a tie. Closest thing to dressed up I'm ever going to get unless somebody dies. God forbid. But yeah, let's get on into this. This is the top 8 anime that I watched last year. Not all these anime are going to be from 2017. I do believe 1 or 2 are actually 2016 titles. But I didn't watch them until 2017 for various reasons. But let's go. So number 8 being Kato, the right answer. So Kato is a pretty interesting case, and you're going to see with the video that comes out tomorrow that Kato is actually a pretty interesting case. The anime itself, the ride was really good. The ending, not so much. But the anime it brought me back every week, because the way I kind of watch seasonal anime is I'll watch, like every 2 weeks. So I watch like 2 episodes or 3 episodes, so I can like kind of marathon and catch up, and then I'll go back to doing other stuff. This way I can kind of watch more anime in a season. But this one I had to watch every week. Like, I was like, nope, I gotta watch the next episode when it drops, next episode when it drops. And it got to the point where I stopped watching the dub and actually went to watch the sub, because I had to see how the show ended when it dropped. But the end being the most shakiest part of the show. But this show was definitely one of the best shows I watched, at least up until the last third this year, or last year. Number 7 being everybody's favorite military loli, and that is Yojo Senki. So this show was interesting. This show was super interesting. The beginning is one of those shows that the first episode grabs you, and it does kind of take you on. Like, you literally, like, it's kind of hard to drop the show. Like, I did kind of shelf the show because there was a lot of stuff that was going on that season. But I finished the show. I have to say, I kind of want to do a review on this show. I want to watch this show again. It is one of the best shows I watched in 2017. Alright, this show, even though it did get hindered by Netflix and its release schedule of how it releases shows, it is still one of my favorite shows. This is probably the show I regret not being able to review the most, mainly because by the time it came out, I was like already like waist deep in like other stuff, so I couldn't like go back. I might still do it eventually, like go back and like review that show. But yeah, like the show is A Little Witch Academia is awesome. I mean, it does have some like slice of lifey elements to it, but it's just lighthearted, fun, something to just sit down and watch, and it's a great gateway anime as well. Alright, so now we get to some of the serious contenders. We have Recreators. Recreators is like one of the coolest anime concepts I've seen this year, with like, the creations. Like, it takes isekai and kind of flips it. So instead of like a dude getting thrown into a fantasy world, the actual fantasy characters or like fictional characters get thrown into the real world, where they end up meeting their actual creators, and then stuff ensues. It's actually pretty awesome. I mean, of course, you have your character archetypes like like, you know, JoJo character, Monogatari character. You've got like magical girl. You've got like, you know, fantasy protagonist lady. You've got a ton of like character archetypes, but you know, the concept is awesome. ああこのまま僕たちの声が世界の端っこまで消えることなく届いたりした So I know this one released last year and it was like the biggest animated movie ever. Your Name. So I didn't get to see Your Name until this year. Actually, I didn't get to see Your Name until a couple weeks ago. Because, you know, being out here by, you know, like an hour away from the capital of the free world, we don't get, you know, limited release showings of a lot of anime movies. Like, oh, we'll get like Ordinal Scale or that crappy Attack on Titan live action thing, but we didn't get Your Name. I don't know why, Funimation, but we didn't get a limited release of Your Name here, so I had to wait until the DVD Blu-ray came out. And I have to say, I can see why the Japanese love this so much. I mean, a lot of the deep cultural stuff, some of the stuff kind of went over my head because I haven't really studied Shinto in a long time, and there's a very big deep cut to the Shinto religion in this movie. But I can see why it affected people so much, and it is one of the best anime of one of the best anime I watched of 2017. So now the next 4 shows, this was hard. This was super hard because all 4 of these shows coming up actually had the possibility of being contenders for number 1. All of them could be, but for different reasons, they aren't. Made in Abyss was legit gonna be the number 1 anime I watched this year, but the same reason why it's been taking me so long to get the review out for this show, it's the same reason that kind of kicked it back down to number 3, because the show does have some pretty big flaws. Like, it's a show that I would watch again, but it's not necessarily a show I'll be like, hey, random non-anime watcher person, check out Made in Abyss. You know, because it just some of the bigger things, like the weird sex comedy, is something that could throw people off. Now, in a regular anime, it wouldn't be much of a problem because you're dealing with adults. But when you're dealing with 12-year-olds, not 100% sure that's something I could, you know, recommend to non-anime watchers. But definitely, it's one of the best, not just best looking, but one of the best shows of this year.
虚実を切り裂いて想定を追いで飛び立ったとこしへ後悔も嫌をなく必然
Now, number 2 was a tie between My Hero Academia Season 2 and Attack on Titan Season 2. Main reason because they're both kind of the perfect sequel. I think Attack on Titan Season 2 edges out Hero Aka just a little bit, mainly because Attack on Titan Season 2 is the perfect sequel. I mean, at least when I look for a sequel to an anime or a show, it's pretty much perfect because it takes everything that was good about the first anime and it makes that better. It addresses some of the low points of the previous anime, being character development, stuff like that. And of course, it just adds new things that make everything awesome. The anime does all of that, and it does it in half the time as not only the original anime, but also its direct competitor being Hero Aka Season 2. Hero Aka Season 2 did a lot of what the first season did and fixed it, but of course it also had twice as long to do so. But yeah, these two are definitely contenders to be the best anime of the year. But there was another show that had a huge effect on me this year. That, you know, I mean, I expected these two to be awesome, but there's another show that had a greater effect on me than these two. And now for my honorable mentions.
まるで世界の秘密そのものみたいに彼女は見える。刻まれた烙印はもはや
それは愚かなるなだが時は求む不屈の英雄その物語を単純だけどやめれないやりたいやらないままいられないもうニューゲームには戻れないお願いリセットして
For the number one anime of the year for me, Gamers. So it was kind of a surprise. I mean, because it's not like, I mean, because me, I'm more into like the action shonen type of show, you know, but this show had a huge effect on me. You know, I wouldn't say it's one of the greatest shows of all time. I've seen somebody actually say that. I don't know about that. I have to look at more rom-coms to really put this head and shoulders above any other rom-com ever, but definitely one of the best shows I watched last year. I mean, because again, like I expect Hero Academia and, you know, Attack on Titan to be awesome, and that's exactly what they were. Now they didn't, you know, they did better than expectations, but I expected them to be awesome and did what I expected them to do. I did not expect this show to be this freaking funny and to have this much of an effect on me. I freaking love Gamers. And it is the top anime, well, the best anime I watched in 2017. Now, I know people are going to be like, well, you probably should have watched more anime, Mario. That's probably true. But, you know, put your top anime list in the description, not the description, in the comments down below. And look forward to tomorrow's list being the top 7 worst anime I watched. That's gonna be fun. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and keep it real.